Look, America, we need to have a chat. It's about guns. And before you reach for your Second Amendment rights, this isn't about taking them away. It's about acknowledging the significant issue of gun violence. We're talking about a uniquely American problem here, and ignoring it isn't going to make it disappear. Reducing gun violence requires a multifaceted approach that addresses its root causes, implements preventive measures, and promotes community resilience. We need to stop treating this like a random occurrence that only happens to others and start addressing it seriously. This is about the safety of your friends, your family, and your community. So, over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack this issue. We'll delve into the complexities, look at the research, and most importantly, explore solutions. Because, let's be honest, thoughts and prayers haven't stopped a speeding bullet. First up, let's talk about education. Education is crucial in promoting responsible gun ownership. We need to be teaching responsible gun ownership, starting with safe storage. It's essential to ensure that toddlers and teenagers do not have easy access to firearms. We also need to equip people, especially young people, with conflict resolution skills that prevent violence. Effective communication can resolve many disagreements without resorting to violence. Sometimes, a thoughtful conversation or written communication can resolve conflicts. Next up, let's talk about the power of community. We're not talking about those artificial communities where everyone pretends to like their neighbors. We're talking about programs that connect at-risk youth with mentors, provide safe spaces for kids, and offer conflict resolution resources. If we can train people to resolve disputes over parking spaces without resorting to violence, surely we can figure out how to keep people from resorting to violence over a misunderstanding at the post office. Let's talk about mental health, shall we? We need to increase access to mental health services and dismantle the stigma surrounding mental illness. Pretending it doesn't exist isn't going to make it magically disappear. Ignoring the issue will only make it worse. It's like trying to address a serious problem by pretending it isn't there. Eventually, it will become unavoidable and everyone will have to confront the issue head-on. Chapter 4, Legislation and Policy. Yes, we're going there. Now for the part you knew was coming, legislation and policy. It's understandable that regulations can be challenging. However, some regulation is necessary for public safety. We're discussing measures like universal background checks, red flag laws, and safe storage requirements. These policies are not about government overreach, but about saving lives and ensuring a safer community for everyone. Chapter 5. Economic and social investments. Because poverty shouldn't be a death sentence. Poverty and violence often go hand in hand. This connection is a serious issue that requires our attention and action. We need to address the root causes of violence by investing in education, job training, and affordable housing. When people have hope for the future, they're less likely to resort to desperate measures. A well-funded education system means fewer people ending up in tragic situations. Chapter 6. School and Youth Initiatives, Protecting Our Future, one crayon at a time. Schools should be safe havens for learning, not places of fear and violence. We need to create supportive and inclusive environments that address bullying and promote mental health awareness. It is crucial to keep firearms out of schools to ensure the safety of our children. The focus in classrooms should be on education and nurturing young minds, not on the presence of weapons. Chapter 7. Data and Research. Because facts matter, even in America. We need more research on gun violence. And no, I'm not talking about those studies funded by the gun lobby that conclude that the solution to gun violence is more guns. We're talking about real, unbiased research that actually examines the causes of gun violence and identifies effective solutions. It's like going to the doctor for a diagnosis. You want a doctor who's going to actually examine your symptoms and order tests, not one who's just going to prescribe you a bunch of placebos and tell you to walk it off. Chapter 8. Law Enforcement Strategies. Because serve and protect shouldn't be a game of Russian roulette. Let's discuss law enforcement. We need to build trust between communities and law enforcement, improve training and focus on getting illegal guns off the streets. It's not about militarizing the police or turning our neighborhoods into war zones. It's about creating a system where everyone feels safe and protected, not fearing for their lives every time they see a police cruiser. Chapter 9. Partnerships and Collaboration. because we're all in this together, whether we like it or not. Reducing gun violence requires a team effort. We need to work with community organizations, faith-based groups, and businesses to create a united front. We need to carefully address the issues of poverty, inequality, and lack of access to mental health care without destabilizing the community. It's going to take patience, cooperation, but I have faith that we can do this. Chapter 10. Media and Cultural Influence. Finally, let's talk about the media's role in all of this. We need to stop glorifying violence and start promoting stories of peace and understanding. Life is not a movie. There's no rewind button, no second chances, and the only thing that should be going viral is a message of hope and compassion. Outro: a call to action, because doing nothing isn't an option. This is a complex issue with no easy answers, but that doesn't mean we accept the status quo. We can't let fear and apathy paralyze us into inaction. A comprehensive approach combining education, policy, community engagement, and individual support can help reduce gun violence and create safer environments. It's time for us to have some uncomfortable conversations, challenge our own biases, and demand better from our elected officials. The only thing more terrifying than confronting this issue is the prospect of doing absolutely nothing and allowing the body count to continue to rise. So let's roll up our sleeves, America, and get to work. Contact the Diversion Center for Gun Violence Prevention workbooks, training, and resources by visiting gunviolenceprevention.com.